What's going on, guys? It's your boy DBGTX-YT, and I am with another Dragon Ball Z Kakarot in-depth video discussion where we go ahead and break down quite another thing that might have been missed in one of my other fellow colleagues' breakdown. And today we are going to be discussing what I like to call special guests or special support cast. If you may have noticed, we got in some images of some of the special support casts, such as Goten and Vegito. Those are special guests. Those characters cannot be used throughout the entire story. They cannot be used after a certain event. They cannot be used at end of game, at least as far as we know, unless more than likely they give us the options to use Potara earrings after the story and or use the fusion dance and after the story. Now, the one thing I did realize, as you guys have noticed with the latest images that have been dropped, is that Goten and Trunks are also playable. I believe that you'll be able to play with small Trunks, and Goten is going to be an assist character. So how they would include the fusion or Potara fusion mechanic would have to be that you would have to have Goku and Vegeta or Trunks and Goten on the same squad, and then you'll be able to you'll be able to go ahead and do the fusion dance / use Potara and use them for the limitation of that particular battle. If they add that mechanic as an actual mechanic for the game instead of it just being a playable event or special guest. Nonetheless, there are other portions of the game that are going to include some characters that you may think that we may not play with, but if CC2 wants to give the full in-depth interactivity in regards to the game, we more than likely will get these battles. One of those particular special guests, for example, is Nail. Nail is one of the integral parts of the Namek Saga where he stalls Frieza for a set amount of time, and I think that it's going to be easy for CC2 to actually do that due to the fact that they already have the model, since he looks identical to Piccolo, and all they have to do is just dress that model with a different attire, give him some different moves, and you're not really going to use Nail at any other point in time in the game. It's just as a special part of that particular mission that you're holding off Frieza while the rest of the gang are escaping. You more than likely are going to get dismantled. Like, when he hits you, it's going to take an insane amount of damage, and there's going to be a timer of like 60 seconds or 2 minutes or something like that you have to hold out. That's probably going to be the event there. The easiest cop out will be they give us a cutscene where Nail just stands there, it says let's go, then it goes dark, and then it comes back, and then you see Nail falling, and then he's like, oh, I was just stalling for time. That will be the easiest cop out. I don't think CC2 is going to do that, but if we get that, I'll be highly disappointed. Nonetheless, there's other instances throughout the series that will allow us, and I think when I say that, I think we'll be allowed to use special guests. Android 16, for example, is going to be another special guest that we may be able to use, due to the fact that even Akira Toriyama confirmed that they're giving additional story to Android 16 in this game, so we could have more background on him / more background on the dynamic between him and Gohan, and why the Super Saiyan 2 transformation hit home the way it did. I believe that we may be able to use him as a special guest character fighting against Incomplete Cell before he absorbs 17. I think that's going to be that may end up happening. I also see 17 being a support character when you fight Incomplete Cell as Piccolo. That's another thing that I could also see. So these are what I call special guests. They're not there all the time. You won't be able to use them all the time, but they will be there for certain events, for certain things. So you'll be able to play with them in these certain events. Further down the road, if you think about it carefully, there's also Majin Buu. I'm almost 100% guaranteed, 100% positive that Majin Buu is going to be a playable character for us. They're keeping it under wraps, but I personally have this feeling that we are going to use Majin Buu, or Majin Buu is going to be there as a support character when we fight in the Supreme Kai realm, and or when we fight Evil Buu. They're going to allow us to use Majin Buu as a special guest character. We may not be able to defeat Evil Buu, but we'll be able to use the character. I'm not saying we're going to be able to use Supreme Kai. I'm not saying that we're going to have a support for Supreme Kai or anything like that. Things like that those are out the window. What I do believe is like characters that played a super role in certain fights, like holding out for time, like now, Majin Buu versus Evil Buu, and these things can be thrown into a cutscene also. But wouldn't you guys at least like to get a shot at playing with these characters, even if it is for a few seconds, just like you're doing with Gotenks and Vegito? I think everybody would appreciate that part of the lore, part of the gameplay, change up the interactivity, change up who you get to play with, even if it is for a few minutes, And those are the key things about this video. I want to know what you guys think about special characters, special guests, special support characters for certain instances about the game. If you think that that's going to happen, let me know in the comment section. If you don't think so, let me know in the comment section why you don't think that is going to happen, so on and so forth. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure you tune in here on January 16th for the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot pregame show, where we're going to start off everything with a full playthrough of all 3 legacies of Gokus. Of course, we're going to be doing some Infinite Worlds, and on top of that, on the 17th, on the money, we will have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot already preloaded on the PlayStation 4, and we will be doing a 3-day, that is right, 3-day stream with very few little breaks, where we're going to flip 100% Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, getting everything, all the trophies, all of everything, and that is what we're going to start the year with an amazing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot stream, both on YouTube and Twitch. So make sure you're tuning in on both ends on January 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. That being said, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Thank you for watching. Give me the comments. Make sure you sub. Make sure you hit that follow, that thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. DVGTX, over and